Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am Shawnee Sanders. So today I wanted to come on and talk about imposter syndrome. And I wanted to talk about it because one, I didn't know what that term was until I got on Clubhouse. And also I didn't know that I suffered from it until I was on Clubhouse. So I really wanted to do this video because I feel like it's something that the majority of us as women, as Americans, as humans suffer from imposter syndrome. And basically what imposter syndrome is that self-doubt. It is that that inner voice that tells you that you don't know what you're talking about. Although you are very successful in your field, although you have won accolades or maybe been promoted, but it is that little voice in your head that's telling you, hey, did you really do this? You didn't do this. You don't know what you're talking about. You can't go up there and speak in front of people. So a lot of things when it comes to imposter syndrome, it's about where it shows up in your life. And for me, it showed up for me when I was on Clubhouse. And I know I've been talking about Clubhouse a lot lately, but it's a new app and it's really something that I've been really putting myself a lot more out there into in terms of speaking publicly. And although you may be saying to yourself, well, you speak publicly because you do these videos on YouTube, but remember that these are recorded. So this is not like live conversation where it's in front of people and, you know, people are listening to everything that I say. It's not that at all. It's actually a recorded thing. And it's easy for me to do this because there's no one around me. I get up early in the morning before my family gets up and I record these videos before anybody gets up. But with imposter syndrome, it's about, it happens for me when I have to speak in front of a crowd. And now mind you, you guys know I'm on my exit strategy in terms of I am launching the exit strategy to move from my corporate job to move over to entrepreneurship. And in my corporate job, I stand up in front of my peers every day, every week, presenting things, data, analytics, just program reform, all types of things that I do at work. And I do that confidently. And I thought about it when I said to myself, well, how do I suffer from imposter syndrome if I do speak publicly all the time at work? And here's the thing. I realized that it's because I know these people. These are my peers. These are people that I work with for years, and they know me. They know me to be the subject matter in this particular thing. They know my knowledge. They know my skills. They know my progression in my career. So they know me. But when it comes to people that don't know you and you have to stand up and speak in front of a crowd, that's where it comes in. That's where imposter syndrome comes in for me. That's where the doubt comes in. Like, oh, can I do this? Do I have what it takes? Do I really know enough? Will anybody even listen to me? But yet I'm still the same girl that say, you know what? And I'm putting it out there right now on my YouTube channel as well. I'm going to do a TED Talk one day. I'm going to do a TEDx one day. I am. So if I want to be that girl that does a TED Talk, does a TEDx, then I have to get over my fear of speaking in public, which I didn't know I had. You know, it's so funny how life is that you don't know certain things that you deal with until you're put in a situation where you have to face them. And so Clubhouse put me in a situation where I have to speak on a public forum. This is live audio. This is not recorded. This is live. You're in live conversations with people that you probably would have never been in a room with before on a normal day. Very knowledgeable people in their industry, very skilled, but yet they're not better than me. I know a lot too. I've been 25 plus years in this marketing, branding, PR. I've done radio. I've done television. I've done a lot of things throughout my career. And so I had to continuously figure out, like, where is this coming from? So I'm on Clubhouse and I'm going in these different rooms. I'm in these different conversations. And when I first got on there, I was scared to raise my hand because of that imposter syndrome. And I didn't know it was imposter syndrome until I went into a room called Media Mastery. And it's so funny because before I went into that room, I heard the word imposter syndrome floating around in other conversations, but I didn't really know what it was. But until I went into Media Mastery with Dominique, and she hosts this room. This is her club, and this is her room that she holds with hundreds of people in it. And she talked about imposter syndrome, about how it shows up in your life, about how it's that inner voice that says, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm good enough. Everybody else is doing it. So what makes me think I could do social media if everybody else is trying to teach people how to do social media? Where am I going to fit in? I'm not going to fit in. They don't want to hear what I have to say. That's that little voice in your head. And we deal with that little voice in our head every day when we're in our daily lives, when we're trying to make our decisions. And so it showed up for me on that app. Because here I'm in these rooms with great minds, and I say to myself, I don't know if I can speak up in front of all these people. So when I get nervous, I tend to talk fast. You know, you can hear the shakiness in my voice. And I do my best to overcome that, but it's so difficult sometimes. But when I went into her room for media mastery, she's a great public speaker. She was able to give me, and she's a public speaking coach, and she was able to give me some tips on how to overcome that. And so ever since she gave me those tips, I've really been utilizing her tips on how to overcome my fear of public speaking or just my nervousness from public speaking. And I've been able to overcome that. I've been able to slow myself down because she told me to take breaths. You're talking fast because you're nervous and you want to breathe. To slow your words down and be able to breathe. If you breathe in between, you'll be able to slow you down. You'll be able to slow down the steady shakiness of your voice, and then eventually it goes away. But also it takes practice. If you want to speak publicly, you have to speak publicly. You have to push past that fear. You know, and you have to step up in your authority. I mean, I talked about this in my coffee and conversation, but I really wanted to get more into imposter syndrome because it is a real thing that a lot of people suffer from. We suffer from the fact that we're not good enough. We're not good enough. Although we accomplished great things in our life, although we overcame great things in our life, we suffer from that thing of not being good enough. And it's like, where does that come from? And you have to go back and you have to dig deep into your childhood or deep into whatever emotional wounds that you're carrying to figure out, well, where is that feeling coming from that I achieve all these great things, but yet I still feel like I'm not good enough. I still feel like I'm going to get on this stage and I'm going to try to speak and people will look at me like I'm crazy. So that's what I did around Clubhouse. I just kind of floated around. I floated around and said, you know what? I'm just figure out where I need to be. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to stay in the audience. I'm going to stay in the listener's lounge. And I'm not going to step up and try to be on the speaker stage, try to be on stage as a speaker, because I don't want to look crazy. I sound crazy in front of all these people. What if I fumble my words? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I don't say nothing at all? Then what? But what I realize is that we are human and it's okay if we make mistakes. Like, we're so afraid of the what if, but it's okay if we make mistakes. It's okay if sometimes things don't always come out right. I was just in a room the other day, and what this guy does, I apologize, I don't know his name, but he does a room where he gives you the greatest lessons of all these great people. So Oprah was on yesterday. He had Oprah, not Oprah wasn't on his show exactly, but he was playing recordings from her and her greatest lessons that she learned throughout her life. And I was just listening to Oprah and talking and listening to all the things that she talked about, all the things that inspired her, all the things that she learned throughout her life. She's constantly learning. And she talked about when she was first on air and she tried to be somebody else that she wasn't. So for Oprah, which I don't know if she knew, but that was imposter syndrome that set in because she was trying to be like Barbara Walters. And she said, I was trying to talk like Barbara. I was trying to speak like Barbara. And then I got on air and I called Canada. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, oh my God, she couldn't believe she did it. But if she did, she was messing up all these different words she said simply because she was not being authentically herself. She was trying to be someone else, right? And so it really just made me think about everything that I do in my life, you know, trying my best to be authentic, my authentic self, because that's all I can give people. And moving past that, if that's not good enough, then so be it. But that's all I can give you is who I am. Authentically, who I am is what I can give you. And I'm learning so much about myself by speaking up in public and pushing past that imposter syndrome, which I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think it's something that actually goes away. I think it's something you deal with all the time, but you push past it. Where sometimes you might get in a space of just feeling like you're doubting yourself, but you push past it. And that's the thing that I did. I pushed past it. And in order for me to do that, I finally had to just raise my hand in the room and say, you know what, I'm gonna get on stage. And I'm gonna tell you guys, the first time I raised my hand in the room on Clubhouse, I got on stage. I could have added value to the conversation, but you know what I did? I just asked a question because I was scared. I was too scared to give my opinion, thinking that these people who sound so much more knowledgeable than me are gonna think I sound crazy. And so I just asked a question as if I didn't know, and I did know. But that's how we do. We get scared. And it's okay. We can be scared. We're human. We get scared. But I was like, God, man, why did I do that? Why am I sitting here acting like I'm scared? I can talk. I can speak. And if it doesn't come out right, then what am I supposed to do about that? I don't care. That's what I had to start telling myself every time I go into the next room and I wanted to add or either ask a question. Because a lot of times on Clubhouse, I'm learning a lot. I'm in those rooms and I'm asking questions. But I can't be afraid to do it. I have to push past my fear. I talked about this in my coffee conversation. I have to push past my fear and step up my authority. Because imposter syndrome will set in and it will make you be silent. It'll make you suppress your feelings, suppress your knowledge, your skills, things that you accomplished over your life. It'll make you suppress that. And you'll forget it because you're in a room and everyone sounds so much more, I don't know, for lack of a better word, smarter than you. You know what I mean? And so what I had to do, and when I got on stage again in Dominique's room, I think probably like the 4th time I got on her stage, and I said to her, you know, Dominique, I'm so grateful for this room, because if it wasn't for the advice that you give and for this room, the things I've learned in this room, I wouldn't have been able to push past my fear and to step up my authority and go ahead and host my first room. And what I had to do in order to do that, guys, in order for me to overcome imposter syndrome, I had to remind myself of who I was. I had to remind myself of the things that I accomplished, because we accomplished so many great things and then it's like out of sight, out of mind, because we accomplished that thing and we just moved on. But we don't remember that we actually did accomplish something great. Something that we didn't think we was going to be able to do, but we did. Or we overcame a challenge in our life that was so traumatic for us, but we overcame it and we survived it and we came through it. And that's sometimes, I think, as people, we forget to remind ourselves of the things we've been through, of the accomplishment that we made, or the challenges that we faced that we overcame. And we have to remind ourselves of that. We have to remind ourselves of how strong and courageous we are. We have to remind ourselves of that. And so as I began to go through and say, you know what, Shawnee, you are the girl that was on Sirius Satellite Radio for like 6 years, hosting a show, doing entertainment and sports news. You are that girl whose voice was heard by millions of people around the world. You are that girl that was on TV, wasn't afraid to get in front of the camera and talk. You know what I mean? Like, you are that girl. You are her. You are that girl who used to rep celebrities. You know, like in PR, when I first started in marketing and PR, I used to work for Jonathan Chevin, who reps Kim Kardashian. I used to rep Foxy Brown. I am that girl who was there, who knows how to do these things. Don't doubt your experience. I'm like, I am that girl. I've been in this marketing. I've been doing marketing, branding, PR for 25 plus years. I can't even count anymore. I've been in this field for a very long time. Social media came along. I started learning everything I can about social media because this is the natural progression of my career. It's to move into digital marketing, digital media, social media. And so I began to learn everything. And being that I launched my own Shawnee brand, my YouTube channel, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, my Facebook group, I launched all these platforms, right? And I'm doing well. Twitter can be way better. Actually, I haven't really focused on Twitter, but I need to. But I'm doing really good on these platforms, especially Instagram. And it's the #1 used platform right now, outside of YouTube, of course. But I'm like, I did those things and I do have something to share with people. It's all DIY for me. I told you guys, I DIY my social media. I do it all myself. I shoot my own videos. I shoot my own photos. I create my own content. I create my own creatives. I write my own captions. Some people do all this. I take my own pictures. Some people hire people to do this stuff. I do my own makeup, and I'm not even a makeup artist. I don't even think I do it that well, but I do it enough to just give me a clean look. So I just feel like there's some people who are out there who hire everyone, outsource everything. And there are some benefits to outsourcing. But if you're that person who's like me, you know, you're married, you have a family, you can't afford really to put money in other places right now. And so I really didn't want that to stop me. I wasn't going to let that stop me because I don't have the money to put into a photographer. I'll put into this and that. I'm not going to let that stop me from building my brand and do what I need to do for me. I'm going to push past my self-doubt of the weight that I've gained over COVID, which right now I'm the biggest I've ever been. And I'm just like, I'm going to push past that insecurity and the doubt. And I'm going to still put myself out there because the one thing I know, I can count on me. I will show up for me. I know that about myself. And so I had to remind myself who I was and how strong I was. and that I have nothing to prove but everything to share. I don't have to come into these rooms and prove that I'm worthy to be a part of the conversation. And not that anyone is asking of that, but that's just the things that we tell ourselves. And so I had to tell myself, you don't have to prove to anyone that you can add value to this conversation. Just add value. Understand what the topic is, understand what you need to do, and just do it. And that's what I slowly started breaking down, those fears, breaking them down, getting on stage, asking questions, adding comments here, adding value to people. And that's what I did, because honestly, that's how you grow on Clubhouse. You can't grow on Clubhouse if you're always in the listener's lounge. You have to be able to step up and speak up and say something. Ask a question if you just want to ask a question to really help you, that's going to bring you value in your life or your business. Ask the questions while you have these great minds in the room. So that's what I did. I asked the questions. I'm like, I have these great minds in the room. When am I going to ever have another opportunity? If Clubhouse go away today, when am I going to have another opportunity to be in rooms with all these different people that have done so many great things that I'm trying to do right now? I won't. And so Clubhouse allow you to be a part of that conversation and allow you to be that person in the room. And so even if you want to just listen and learn, you take so many notes just by listening and learning. But I decided, I said, okay, I've been around Clubhouse long enough. I'm pushing past this imposter syndrome, but I'm going to step up and I'm going to do my own room. And I said I'm going to do my own room because, once again, I was in Media Mastery, and Dominique was talking about when she first started on Clubhouse and how she did her own room. And the first time she did her room, nobody showed up. She said one person popped in and then they popped out, but nobody showed up. And so she said, you know what? I said, okay. I did my second room. Nobody showed up. I did third room. No one showed up. Fourth, no one showed up. By the fifth time she did a room, people started to show up. And after hearing that story, that's what motivated me. That's what motivated me after hearing that story. So I was like, I have to do it. And so that was the same day that I had decided that I was going to host my own room. So here I am saying, okay, I'm going to host my own room and I'm going to push past my fears and I'm going to do this, right? And I'm like, and I went in her room because I wanted to get motivation. I wanted to learn more about confidence, just having more confidence in myself, confidence in what I've learned, what I've overcome in my life, and being able to say to myself, you have nothing to prove but everything to share. You have nothing to prove but everything to share. And that's what I said, literally a few seconds before I had to go on. A few seconds before I had to start the room. I started the room, and all I know is I had some great moderators coming in. And I said, you know what? If anybody shows up, great. If nobody shows up, that's fine too. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to keep moving forward. And what happened was that, I'm sorry guys, my dog sneezed and I almost thought he almost had like a seizure just now. So I apologize for the pause I just did, but I had to make sure I look at him just to make sure he's okay. He's old, he's 14, 16 years old, so I have to make sure he's okay. Okay, so he seems to be all right. Sorry about that. I'm not gonna edit out. Listen, I'm giving you guys this live. So I was super nervous to start this room, but I realized I had to do it. I was really nervous, but I had to do it. And so, but like I said, I kept telling myself I have nothing to prove but everything to share. So I started a room. And I tell you now, I didn't know if anybody was going to show up. All I thought to myself is somebody shows up, great. If they don't, I'm going to have a great conversation with my moderators, and maybe I just learn something from them because they're really good at social media. And 40 people came in the room. 40 people drifted in the room, just started coming in the room. People started raising their hand. People started coming on stage. I started speaking and I started talking. I started adding value. And I began to get so comfortable with it. Because I was like, you got this, girl. You know this. And I began to just get more comfortable with it. More and more comfortable. And I'm telling you guys this story because I had to push past that imposter syndrome. I had to push past my fears. I had to step up in my authority. And what I realized is that so many people got so much value from that room. And every time someone came up on stage, when it's time for their turn, their chance to speak, they was like, oh my God, I'm writing down so many different things. Shawnee, thank you so much for starting this room. You're adding so much value. I'm learning so much here. And it was a room about how to rebrand your Instagram account. It was simple steps, but it was so valuable to a lot of people. And one thing I always want to make sure when I do rooms that people can walk away with actually tactical things that they can do that day and go start implementing them on their Instagram account or in their business. And so we was able to provide that for them. And I was so surprised. I was only going to do the room for 1 hour because I really didn't know how the conversation was go. That room ended up lasting 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours. I actually had to end it myself. I had to turn off hand raising and I had to end it because I was like, okay, I can't be on here all day. Of course, you know, I got the husband, the kids, I got to be able to be a part of the family on a Saturday. I can't take up all my moderators' time either. So, but it was such an awesome room. So I did it again on yesterday. So today, if you guys don't know, I record on Sundays. And I did it again on Saturday. I hosted another room on how to create winning content. In this room, great people started coming. I got like 30 something people in this room. But what I know about any not Instagram, but any platform on social media, it's about consistency. It's about being consistent. Being consistent. That's what it's about. And I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to continue to do it because the more I speak publicly, the more confident I become, the more I prepare myself to speak on the TEDx platform, on a TEDx stage, on a TED Talk. That's what I'm doing. I'm in training right now, guys. Like, I'm in training. You know how sports people, they get in training to get themselves ready for the season? I'm in training right now to get myself ready for my season. When God will open doors of opportunity for me to be in the public eye and speak out on media platforms, podcasts, TEDx, TED Talks, wherever there's a stage of people and whatever value I can offer to someone, that's what I'm going to do. So I know this video probably been like a rambling, but it's really about imposter syndrome and overcoming it. So my main thing I want to say to everyone is like, push past your fears. You are good at what you do. We all have something to share. It doesn't matter how many accolades a person has. It doesn't matter what their education level is. You have learned so much in your life that you can teach people so much. Think about I want everyone today to just think about all the things that you accomplished over your life. Think about all the things that you went through, that you survived, that you can tell someone else how to survive. Everything is not about education and things like that. It's about life. Because this is our lives. These are the days of our lives, right? I used to love that, the little daytime soap opera. But it's the truth. These are the days of our lives. And we go through things, we experience things, but we have to push past those fears. If you're right now in your mind, you know you want to start that business and you know you got everything it takes, but you feel like you're lacking something, understand, I'm here to tell you, you're not lacking anything. You're not lacking anything. You have everything you need to get that business started. You don't need money. Listen, I started my business. I didn't have no money to put into this, which is why I had to DIY it. I had to do it myself. But I know some businesses, there's certain things you cannot do yourself. So take your time with those. Put your money aside. Do whatever you feel you need to do. Pull in other resources or connect with people that can help you get to what you need. That's what Clubhouse is about, connections. Connect with people that can help you grow your business, that can help you get access to the things that you need. That's what you need to do with Clubhouse. And I'm super, super amazed. And I'm so grateful to have been in that media mastery room, to be able to build my own confidence and be able to step past my fears and step up my authority and host my own room and create my own club. I have people even in my club now. People follow my club. I have 100-something people follow my club. And that might not seem like a lot to people, but I'm only in Clubhouse no more than a month, 2 months maybe, now a month and a half maybe. So it goes to show you the growth opportunity, but also just the opportunity to be authentically yourself. For people to really see your personality. It puts the personality in front of the pictures on Instagram, the videos. It really gives people opportunity to learn who you are and to know more about you and to learn more from you. So, you know, if I could tell you anything about imposter syndrome, is that it is a lie. It's the lie we tell ourselves, that we're not good enough, that we can't do it, we're not smart enough, we haven't achieved enough. That's a lie. You have. You have everything you need. You have everything you need. You've done great things in your life. Share them with other people. If you're on Clubhouse, raise your hand. If you want to speak in public, start speaking in public. Take it small steps. But I'm going to tell you, Clubhouse is a great learning tool for you to do that. You can go into small rooms. You don't have to be in rooms of hundreds of people to speak. You can go into a room that has maybe 10 people in it, 8 people, or even, I don't know, I've been in a room with only 4 people was in it. I was with the 4th one. But I was speaking, though, in front of people that don't know me. And that's great training. So go and find yourself a way to push past your fears. It takes practice, practice, practice. And what I'm doing on Clubhouse every day is practicing. Me hosting my clubs is me practicing, because one day I'll be on a larger stage, on that TEDx stage, in front of millions of people watching. So let's really see where this goes. But I'm excited for this journey, guys. I'm excited for my public speaking journey. And I hope you guys are excited for your own journeys. Listen, I'm just rambling on here today, but I really want to come on and put this conversation out there and talk about imposter syndrome, simply because, like I said, it's something that we all suffer from. It's something that we're consistently pushing past. Confidence is something we all struggle with, and we're all dealing with that every day. Some days we may be super confident, and some days we might not be as confident. But no matter what, we're going to see it through, right? We're going to see it through. Listen, that's it for me. I'm Shawnee Sanders. Once again, guys, you know how I feel. I'm so grateful that you guys take the time to watch my videos, to comment. I love it. To give it a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. You didn't like it? I get it. Hey, everything is not for everybody. I'm not judging. But thank you so much for listening anyway, listening to me and having this conversation with me. Drop a comment below if you have dealt with imposter syndrome in your life and how you're overcoming it. Drop a comment below just to let me know if this video was even helpful. You know, follow my channel, subscribe to my channel, of course, because I put up new videos every week. Also, hit the notification button so you'll know when I'm actually putting up those videos. And like I said, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment below. Let me know how you are overcoming imposter syndrome in your life. Let me know where it shows up. Let me know what you're struggling with, because we can get through it together, because we can do anything together. Because remember, and I want everyone out there that's watching this to remember this, you have nothing to prove, but everything to share. Keep telling yourself that every day when you feel like you're in a situation. I don't care what the situation is in your life. It could be relationships. It could be the job. It could just be anything. Remember, you don't have nothing to prove, but everything to share with someone. That's it. There's no proving who you are. You are authentically who you are, and you are perfectly made exactly the way you are. You don't have to be nothing more than who you are, because you have nothing to prove and everything to share. I'm Shawnee, and I'll see you guys next time.